Richard, I'm just going to start right in. You know, things are slower, not only in our economy, but in the globe, and particularly in the ECB. More political turmoil, lots of uncertainty. But at the end of the day, as dovish as all of this was for Mario Draghi and company, they are doing less. It seems quite incongruent to me. They're going to break out of the prison of easy money only to find out the building next door that they're breaking into is just a lower security prison for easy money. Your thoughts?
They are at the margin doing less, but they're still going to buy 160 billion euros worth of bonds next year, Rick, because they have to, because Italy, is a mess and they know it. That's the short answer. I can give you a longer one.
Now, with regard to the reinvestment, I understand that you can't go cold turkey, and I also understand they're still doing an awful lot. But in the end, the timing could not be worse. Why do central banks have a timeline agenda as opposed to be open to all the inputs that they see?
It's a great question, Rick. It's a theoretical question. You got to remember you're dealing with academics. And, at least in the U.S. Fed, we have Jay Powell, who, is willing to say, the facts change, I'll change. But a lot of the central banks around the world, we're dealing with academic policy, and they'll put a timeline on it. And we all know you should never do that in the investment community.
All right, now let's go in a different direction. I'm worried about this not only in the ECB, but all central banks, even including ours. There was something in there that basically said quite plainly, and, we could always do this QE over again the same way or bigger than before should conditions make that necessary. That is a very scary thought when they're still knee-deep in it. Your thoughts?
Oh, Rick, well, that all works fine and well and good until your currency doesn't hold up and inflation starts to take off. And some places, we're lucky in the U.S. Looks like inflation kind of peaked for now a couple months ago. But, China's having some inflationary issues. There's only so much they could print money and affect their currency in that. So they're going to play the game until the game punches back. And right now, with oil prices coming down, the game's not punching back. So it gives them a little room to talk up the QE again, Rick, unfortunately.
If you have a building that's taking on water and there's a door, eventually the water in one room will find a way to seek an equal level into the next room. The biggest issue of all to me as an American is how are these very questionable policies and their continuation going to affect the U.S.? I think a lot of the global vibrating we're seeing is exactly that. Sent from other countries whose economies aren't improving and they're not doing the right policies to improve them. Your final thoughts?
If rates come down and oil comes down, the U.S. will remain insulated. But I am worried a little bit about S&P earnings, especially international earnings and exposure to China. Rick, U.S. exports to China are down 30% year over year. Think about that. That's going to be flowing through the U.S. S&P earnings for sure.